All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us again on this wintry Nova Scotian afternoon. Today on the docket, we have a few things I'd like to mention before we get started. So we have a brief 7-minute video for us to watch and enjoy together. And then after that, I will be introducing our wonderful residence coordinator, Brent. He will be chatting with you about the fees and the different residence options that you have. And then we have some amazing residence assistants on the line with us today to chat about their experiences, what they're doing now, what they're studying, and then to answer your questions. So it's a free-for-all at the end. If you do have questions, now is the time to ask. That being said, I would like to mention a few things for you to remember. So if you need to get out your notepad, do so now. Our scholarships application deadline is March 1st. So make sure that you have that marked on your calendars. Secondly, we are launching our Day in the Life series on February 22nd. So you're going to hear from current students and their daily life routine. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. Keep an eye open for that. And lastly, don't forget to register or apply for residence. So if you have questions about how to do that, please ask Brent today. He will definitely help you out, and of course the other RAs on the line. So I'm going to pop up our video here for you guys to watch and enjoy.
My name is Liv Scott.
My name is Cameron Smith.
My name's Liam Krieger.
My name is Molly.
And I'm studying biology.
And I'm studying English and Classics.
And I'm studying engineering.
And I'm studying music.
My favorite part about living in Tower, definitely the UL. It's like the upper lounge and we just call it the UL. And it's really nice to hang out. We can play pool or ping pong or just sit around and chat.
I like this building because it's kind of like a maze, and I know that sounds like a lot of people might not want to live in a bigger building, but you just get to meet so many people, and like sometimes I'll just go around a corner and I'm like, I didn't know you lived in there, so it's kind of nice.
Living in Dennis is a really unique experience because it's almost always all first years, so you're living with students that are experiencing the same thing. So from my point of view, I'm getting to RA a bunch of first year students who are all learning how to be university students together at the same time, and it's a really, really strong community.
My favorite part of living in residence at Acadia is that it's so easy to find friends and build a community. There's just so many people in all of the buildings that there's always going to be someone you can meet that has the same interests as you, wants to hang out, wants to learn about the same things you do. You get to be right with people from your classes, but usually you still have your own room, so you can still go and have time to yourself, but there's always somebody that you have the opportunity to hang out with.
My favorite part about living in residence here is definitely having meal hall and being like generally taken care of all around, so I can focus really well on my schoolwork.
I think living in res, like I said, you get a community you'll never find anywhere else. You're living with, in this building you live with 80 or upwards other people who are all experiencing the exact same thing. If you're a social person, there's always people everywhere you go, there's people in meal hall, there's always a chance to be making connections and meeting new people. I think that's a pretty unique experience to have in your first couple years of school.
My top 3 residence items at Acadia would probably be my Keurig for coffee, a big blanket, and my plants.
I think it's having a really good bed set up. You're in your bed and you're at your desk most of the days, so making sure that your bed is really at the level of comfort that you need, because you spend a lot of time in your room.
Oh, a portable speaker is definitely a big one, and I guess my plants. It's nice to have some greenery.
Here at Acadia, the RAs are basically responsible for, if we have any needs, anything goes wrong, any questions. They're also just like our friends. They're very personable and they're always here for us. If we get locked out of our room, we can knock on their door.
Supporting you through a lot of things. I know this is a time when a lot of people are just maybe coming out or gaining a new identity, and we're here to support you through that, be a friend and someone you can lean on and learn from, hopefully, and we are here to just really help you make it a good experience and something that you're glad to be a part of.
I guess, like, to summarize it up, like, an RA is here to keep you safe, whatever that means. So if that's having a friend to talk to, then that's helpful, or if it's helping you navigate your weekend nights or your new times at school, academics, pretty much anything you think you could potentially need of a mentor type figure would be what an RA is.
My favorite memory of living on res would probably be the very first night that we all got here. Just like everybody meeting each other for the first time. That was a lot of fun.
I think my favorite memories are always orientation week, so O weeks. That's when the first weeks of school, when all of the new students come and you're doing like residence events and getting to know each other and doing stuff planned by the student union. It's just a really exciting time. You're making new friends, you're getting to know people. People are really proud of their residence buildings, and to be new or current Acadia students, I think it's just a really special experience.
I chose to study at Acadia because it's just a beautiful campus. Once you step onto the grounds here, especially in the fall or the winter when the trees are either like turning all kinds of colors or everything's covered in snow, like you can just feel it. It has a different feeling than any other campus I'd been to.
I had a few friends that had come here before and they loved it, and when I came for my tour, just like seeing Wolfville and the community and touring, like I just really loved the campus.
I guess the advice I'd have would be like make your time in university your own. Coming to school, it's often easy to fall into like one of 5 paths and kind of do what someone did before you, but there's so many different opportunities here on campus, and you can kind of forge your own path within that. I think you'll be really grateful for it. Come fourth year like me.
Definitely live in residence first year, I would say. That's where you get to meet all your friends and get involved in things. Like I joined the intramurals team, and that's been like one of my most favorite parts of the year so far. So just get involved, definitely. Don't be shy.
The best advice I would have for future students is that it definitely feels so nerve-wracking, but once you get here, it truly does feel like a safe and fun place to be, and there's RAs around you. Most people have the same feelings that you do, and if you think they aren't, you're kidding yourself. They're kidding you. Everybody's nervous, and when you accept that and let your guard down a little bit, you can actually have a really great experience, and I would encourage everybody to try it.
I think the connection that Acadia has with the town of Wolfville and the community around it is really special. Like, you're an Acadia student, but you're also a resident of Wolfville, and you're someone who lives in the town. And I think that's a really unique experience compared to what I've heard of other schools. Like, you are a part of the campus community, but you're also part of the Wolfville community. I think that's really special, and that gives you a lot of opportunities you won't get elsewhere.
The fact that it's small, but it's big enough to where you can see different people every single day, but at the same time you can feel the sense of community, and like you end up seeing somebody at meal hall and you're like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so.
What makes Acadia like nowhere else is that it's actually a place where you really are part of the community if you put in that effort to be. Profs want to know you, admin wants to know you, the faculty wants to know you, the people in your building want to know you, and you get the chance to actually get to know them. Like, it's truly a place where you are not a number at all. You always have a great experience with getting to be an individual and actually get to know the people around you and vice versa. And it feels like you're really appreciated when you get to do that. So that's definitely something that's very special to hear.
Our Acadia campus holds 11 residence buildings on campus. We house about 1,700 residents in an average year. Of course, due to COVID-19, we have limited our occupancy numbers to accommodate for social distancing as well as public health demands. But we do house about a quarter or to a third of our Acadia population on campus. And it does offer a very unique and accommodating communities all across campus here, where our video will go into more depth on as to how the communities interact and people's experiences in such. Your residence experience is the utmost important to us. What can you expect from being in residence here at Acadia? Again, there are lots of engaging programs, formals and networking experiences that happen. There is safe and respectful living spaces for all residents, as well as personal and academic supports through a lot of the systems that we have in place on campus, either directly within residents found with the RA staff, or through other supports and other organizations here on campus. To kind of go a little bit deeper into the room draw information, room draw is now open for folks who are currently a part of the Acadia community and will be opened up for incoming first year students in the spring. More information and dates on that can be found by emailing Residence Life. But essentially on the day of room draw, it's a simple 5-step process that can be found again outlined on our website. So by logging into the residence portal, you will be prompted to select the residence and room type that you would like to live in. It will display the rooms that are available to choose from. And when you choose the room, and you'll get a prompt to see another page where you can and you must select the bed and add it to your cart. That way that you have made a confirmation of the room that you have selected. And at that, your room is successfully added and it should take you back to the beginning of the page. A little bit more of continued information. So it is done through our StarRes portal. I apologize for the spelling there, as there is no portal link copied down below. I forgot to delete that portion. But again, for when the time does come for the portal to be open, you just simply log in and select the application for fall 2021-22. And again, the portal will reopen in the spring for first year students, and more information can be found by emailing Residence Life or checking out our website. In addition to this, if you are at all curious, there will be some emails sent out in advance for incoming students, just to be made aware of dates and important information on applying to residence. Some simple reminders. In order to log into your residence portal, please do not use a phone, tablet, or Safari on a Mac computer. For some reason, with our program here, there are some technical issues that do occur when that is done on those certain platforms. So please keep this in mind and do it on the search engines or devices that would accommodate for such needs. And secondly, we are here to help. Again, if you have any questions or any issues that come up, insults at all for the organization, please feel free to contact us. We want to be able to help you out and help out your transition into becoming a member of the incredible Acadia community here. So we do have someone answering emails that is able to help you out along the way. So we encourage you to reach out if you run into any issues. And again, the email can be found and it is provided there down below at residencelife@acadiau.ca. Some simple frequently asked questions are, why isn't there an option to select a meal plan? So meal plan will get added to the portal at a later date. Again, I do believe that this will be prepared in advance, so it will be done at the same time come spring. But for current students looking to apply, again, the meal plan will be added to the portal on a later date. The second question being, what happens if an appointment or what happens if I have an appointment or have to work at the same time as my time slots? So again, time slots to select a room. You can just, of course, follow your time slot, but again, we are flexible and we can definitely accommodate if you are able or unable to attend your appointment. That's really it that I have covered for our applying to residence. And again, I really do encourage folks to look at our website, as all the information with regards to applying to residence fees, options, and the room selection guide can all be found there, as well as any incoming dates, numbers, and whatnot.
So with that being said, I think this is the perfect time to toss it over to the residence assistants or the RAs. So if you guys would like to introduce yourselves, that'd be great. And let's start off with Molly Anderson. Let's give her a virtual round of applause. Go ahead. Hi, Molly. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Hi, everybody. As we said, my name is Molly. I'm a fourth year music ed student here, and I'm coming at you live from Dennis. Usually I would hop up and show you my beautiful view out my window of the dikes and the nice view of Wolfville, but right now it is very snowy here, so I won't be doing that. Before living in Dennis, I RA right now in Dennis, but before that I RA'd in Rojo or Boyd Jodrey, which is generally our upper year student building, and I also RA'd in Chase Court, which is one of our larger buildings on campus. And as a resident, I lived in SEM my first year of school, so it's Seminary House, the historic building on campus, and I briefly lived in Barracks or War Memorial. So all of these buildings have their own character, their own communities, and they all have very different, excellent things to offer to you as a student. When I'm not RAing, I'm trying to be involved as possible here on campus, and there's so many things going on here all the time that it's super easy to find something that resonates with you. I've been able to get involved with lots of committees and clubs, and working for the Acadia Student Union has been a really important experience for me as a student. I've worked with them as an employee and a volunteer and worked on their representative committees and had a chance to have a voice on campus. So if that's something that you're doing now in high school, I would really, really recommend that you look into the Student Union once you arrive here on campus. Living in residence, in my opinion, is really an essential part of the university experience. Finding the right building for you can take some research, can take some question asking, so maybe some trial and error, but once you get it sorted out, I'm sure you'll be so, so happy in your new home, and we'll be happy to have you. So if you have any questions about coming here to Wolfville, coming to Acadia, it's most of our favorite places, so ask away when you get a chance, and we'll be so happy to see you in the fall.
Awesome. Thank you, Molly. We'll pass it over to Cameron now. So let's hear from Cameron.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Cameron. You just saw me in the video as well, but I'll introduce myself again. My name's Cameron Smith. I currently RA in Tower, but in my first year I lived in Cutton and spent almost all of my time in EC. In my second year I lived in Chase and spent like half my time in Barracks. I RA'd in Rojo in my third year, and again, I RA in Tower now. I'm a double major in English and Classics. I've also worked in an organization under the union in the Peer Support Center. I work as the Acadia Mental Health Initiative Coordinator, and I also have worked with the English Society and got to plan all kinds of fun events for the English department there. And some more like fun things about me. I thought I'd tell you guys my secret hidden talents, which are walking on the stilts and being very skilled at assembling IKEA furniture. So I also know everything there is to know about movies. So I'm just super fun is what I'm saying. If you want to watch a movie and build IKEA furniture, I'm your girl.
Awesome. That was great. I love that. IKEA furniture for all. And for last, we will pass it off to Vivian.
Hi, everyone. My name's Vivian. I wasn't in the video, but I'm Vivian Lee. I am an international student, and can everybody hear me? I see a message. Okay, good. I am an international student. I came to Canada 8 years ago, and I came to Acadia 4 years ago. So I'm a fourth year biology and math student, and I'm currently doing my honors with Dr. Melanie Coombs in the biology department. I am a second year RA. My first year I RA'd in Chase Court, and my current year I'm RA in Tower. As a student, I lived in Rojo and Chase Court. And one fun fact about me is that I love Baby Yoda, and I have a board that I made for my floor, and it's just Baby Yoda. And every day I walk into my floor and I see that, it just makes me so happy. And I also cross-stitched Baby Yoda.
That's awesome. Lots of COVID hobbies happening while we have all the free time. So thank you for the introduction and giving us that warm welcome and kind of getting us all used to each other. I have seen lots of questions coming in, so I will read the questions off, and then you guys can take the lead and answer them as you wish. So we have one here. The first one is, how are the bathrooms done up? Would they get their own bathroom? Do they have to share a bathroom with other people? What do they look like? Those kinds of questions. So I guess which one of you knows about the bathrooms? Brent, maybe to you to talk about the different styles.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, there are lots of different bathrooms here that we have on campus, I guess, in terms of layouts and what they offer. So there are wheelchair accessible bathrooms in every residence building, of course, some being more so than others. We also have a difference between private and public bathrooms. So for some, there are single stall washrooms that can be found in the majority of our residence buildings, where they are primarily for one person to use at a time. But then there is the communal bathrooms, which again can be found in Seminary House and Kroll Tower. And I believe those are the only two that have them. But with those, they are multiple stalled, so either have either multiple showers or toilets or whatnot, multiple sinks, so that people in the community can use them at the same time as others, versus the other private ones that can be found all over campus that are just single-use stalls or single-use bathrooms. So.
Awesome. And we also have another question kind of around the same vein, but what is the cleaning protocol for shared spaces right now?
So, great question. The cleaning protocol has been upped, of course, due to COVID-19. So during our time at which we had isolating students on campus here, we had cleaning protocols basically after every single time slot in which there may have been a shift in terms of their movements. So physical plant staff have been in every building at least 3 times a day. And there are specific cleaning times that are, of course, specific to each building that cover the high touch area points. So front doorways, bathrooms, as well as any interior doors that may be in use. So those are the increased touch point area cleanings, as well as each bathroom, to my knowledge, has been equipped with its own spray. So after use, you are able to actually spray down your surfaces, or even before you do so. So it gives people the opportunity just to be, I guess, a little bit more health conscious on their end, as well as increased hand sanitation stations at the entryway of every residence building. So before even entering, you are to use the hand sanitizer. So cleaning has definitely been upped, and it's at the forefront of our efforts this year. So we hope to keep improving our methods and of course react when having to do so.
Awesome, thank you. The next question I'm going to throw over to Cameron. Laundry facilities, where are they located? Are they coin operated? How does that work?
All right, so every building does have a ton of machines. They're in different places and arrangements. Some buildings, Tower, for instance, has all one room on the main floor with a huge amount of machines. They are coin operated, and I believe in Dennis it's a few machines on every floor instead, and same with Cutton, I know for sure. So it'll be a little bit of a different setup for every building. Sometimes, you might have to go up another floor to get a machine that doesn't have clothes in it, but usually if you want to do your laundry, you don't have too much of a problem with finding a machine. So yeah, they're coin operated. That can get a little annoying, but I find often that it's been no problem to be able to do laundry. And if you get frustrated with the machine, you can just tell your RA and they will do their best to handle it from there.
Awesome. And I'll go back to you, Brent, just because this is a more of an in-depth question, but will double rooms be available in the fall? And when do you find out which residence you are in, and when do you pick your residence room? I'll just tie those 2 questions together.
So with regards to double rooms, we are, of course, kind of going along with what public health has been advising us to do, as well as our own processes, just to ensure the safety of folks within our community. So We can't really say for certain right now if double rooms will be made available. The option to select them will still be available to residents, as I think we will have more information for the application time. But in terms of, I guess, hearing back from us with regards to if double rooms are still available, that will most likely come in spring, as we don't really have that information right now to be available. And maybe Sarah, can you just repeat the second part of that question there?
Yeah, sure. When do you find out which residence you are in, and when do you pick your res room?
So you do pick your res room during the application process through the portal. The dates for those will be posted and sent out via email in the springtime for incoming students. And then basically the room that you select will be the room that you will be given for the incoming year, unless there is any changes, like I said. With public health having a large impact, especially during this time, we can't really foresee the future of rooms in terms of having a double room selection or occupancy limits. So unless there is any changes, the room that you have selected will be the room that you will be placed in for the upcoming academic year.
Thank you. And one more is, can an international student stay in residence all summer if they can't return home? And if so, do they need to be enrolled in classes all spring and summer in order to stay in residence?
So traditionally, like in years past, we have had international students as well as domestic students stay on campus as they have been enrolled in those intersection courses. But again, I think with last year and with COVID, how it shut down a lot of institutions very fast in March for us. We did have a lot of students who weren't able to make it home, stay on our campus. So again, for this summer, I do believe that we will have to accommodate some folks, as I do believe travel restrictions have been lifted more so, especially with the very, with the vaccine that has been coming out. Hopefully we do have some more travel, not really allowing or not really having this issue on such a large scale again this summer, but there is the ability to stay on campus in the summer, yes.
Awesome, thanks, Brent. So the next question I'll throw over to Molly. Where can a student use their flex dollars from the meal plan?
That is a great question. Trying to think through. So a couple of our academic buildings have like coffee shop setups within them. So our BAC, or the Beverage Arts Center, is one of our main academic buildings, and there's a section in there that you can buy like small snacks, coffee, tea, that sort of thing. There's one in the business building and the athletics complex, I believe, and possibly somewhere else on campus. So it's basically any food setup that's associated with Chartwell's, our food provider, and not the student union, is where you can spend those dollars. It's a pretty handy for a nice stop for a coffee on your way to class. It's come in handy for many people many times, I think.
Yeah, I've had to use it a few times as well in my experiences. So I guess I'll ask Vivian, just to give her a chance to chat as well. What is it like for first-year students in residence and in general?
I would say for first-year student, it's very good for them to stay on campus. It's just because it's a chance for them to meet great friends. It's this experience that you don't get if you live off campus, because right here, Acadia is a small university. We have a strong community sense here. I am sure whichever building you decide to live in or end up in, each building have their own community, and you meet with great friends. You have great support system, and also on campus there is tons of resources for you. Those are the things that you won't get if you living off campus, these experience. And also specifically for first year, we have the welcome week. That week you will meet majority of your friends, and they're very fun. Basically each day you're basically packed with activities and presentations or meeting with other people, and those that week it's very fun for first year.
Yeah, it's always exciting. It's exciting for us too on the enrollment side of things to watch all the students move in and get to know each other and learn more about each other during that, open O week or orientation week. And then, yeah, thank you, Vivian. So I will pass it back over to Brent. We have about 10 minutes left of our Q&A, so make sure to get your questions in. But here's one for you, Brent. Will students and residents get vaccinated, or will it be a choice, or will it be mandatory?
For myself personally, I have no real, I guess, idea in terms of if that is a requirement for residents. Obviously, if you do have the ability to get the vaccination, that would be preferred and I think really great for the community. But again, we do have measures put in place to help with the health and safety of communities, regardless of vaccines or not. So there are measures just to protect the general community there. So for that answer, I don't really know specifically if you will be required to have a vaccine. Again, it is encouraged, but we are doing our best to accommodate for those who are unable to get them and make the right choices to protect our communities. So
awesome. When is the deadline to apply to residents for new students?
The deadline can be found on our Acadia website, and the date honestly has slipped my mind. But if you type in the Acadia Residence Life on any search engine there, you'll get all the information with regards to dates or fees associated with applying. And again, like I noted too in the presentation before there, the actual portal will open in the spring, but all other dates and times can be found on our website there.
Awesome. And the last one for you for right now is, does Acadia usually run out of rooms? In other words, are there more rooms for students or more students than rooms, and how does that work?
So yes, that is thankfully not the case, where we do have a lot of rooms to accommodate for the students who are coming into campus. Again, some of the more popular buildings that fit the unique needs of people coming onto campus do get filled up quite fast in comparison to others. So again, I guess just coming back to a couple of years ago, Kroll Tower was filled all the way up 13 floors. To then the next year, it was only filled up to 7. So there are still 5 unoccupied floors in that during that year. And so there are lots of available rooms here on campus. Like I said, 1,700 residents can be accommodated on our campus here. So if you are specifically wanting a building that you are drawn to, either if it's the community or the atmosphere or whatnot, I would recommend being really up to date on terms of what times you have to apply for, as they do go fast, the ones that are in high demand. So
awesome, thank you. I'm gonna hop it over to Cameron here. So this question is one residence more suited for first year students? Are some known for one type of experience over the other? And what are the differences between the dorms, if anyone has perks versus not?
Cool. All right. This question has a lot of different layers to it, so I'm going to try to address it without talking too much. So every residence does have a different vibe. Usually different groups of people kind of flock to different residences just because they go to things like this and we tell them what kind of people usually go kind of end up where. But it really does depend on the year. So generally buildings that are primarily first years are Cutton, Dennis, and Tower are mostly first years. Other buildings I would say are usually a pretty good mix. And then Roy Jodrey is pretty much always just upper years, and Chase is primarily second years. But every building kind of has, like, some buildings people like to like go out on the weekends more, maybe have parties more, and other buildings are like activities focused and do a lot of things with like house council and a lot of different activities in like the lounges and with the pool tables and all that kind of stuff. But you can make that community in any building. You are totally able to make friends with the kind of people you want to be friends with, and have a great time in your building doing whatever you want to do. But some other things that are important to consider is that sometimes people from one program will kind of flock to one building. So a lot of music students move into STEM, and then that's cool for them because they're able to like practice with each other really easily, do that kind of stuff. And they all know, like, if I'm keeping somebody up today practicing, someone's going to keep me up tomorrow practicing. So that's okay that they deal with that then. But yeah, usually the best way to figure out what residence fits best for you, maybe find someone who already lives on campus and just talk to them for like 5 or 10 minutes about what you're interested in, what kind of things you want, and generally they're going to be able to tell you, oh yeah, these should be your top 3 picks.
That's awesome advice as well. Yeah, always reach out to those in your program, or if you know any familiar faces on campus already, then yeah, for sure reach out, or reach out to your enrollment advisors. Hello. So I'm going to throw this next one over to Molly just because it is about music, and they specifically asked for you. So I am applying to the music program and would like to do music education, and I was wondering what your favorite part of the music program is and what makes the music program special and unique. There was also another question about pianos on campus that students who are not in music have, or if they're able to have access to those as well.
Okay, I love this question. I'm so happy you're thinking about music education. Acadia's music program is, like, often people say like their program is special and unique and all of that, but as someone who did a lot of research before settling on Acadia for a music program, the program here really truly is unique. As like I'm a voice major here, so I study classical voice with my focus in education. So after an education focused degree here, you have to go on to get a BEd. So an education degree itself, which Acadia also offers, so you can stream right through, which is super great. But as someone who's focused in classical music here, you're not tied to classical music. I've taken courses that are based in folk music, rap, basically every genre you could want to experience. You get pushed to explore those, and you're not just stuck in like the classical or Western art music world, which compared to other schools I've seen, that is a very unique experience to have here. Our faculty are super lovely. And if you have questions specifically about the music program, I won't go on about it here, but I think you can see my email on the screen, I would hope there. I'm also our society president, so I can get you in touch with any music resources that you'd be looking for that way. Please send me an email and we can connect, have a chat about that, because I'd love to answer those questions. And about the pianos, in a regular non-COVID year, you're able to get permission to be in the music building. Right now it's under restriction because we need to make sure it's sanitized for the people who need to be in that space, but it is something that can be flexible. The school definitely acknowledges that not every musician is a music major, so there's things that can be done within that. You'll also see, though, right behind me, I have a keyboard in my own room. So if that's something that's really important to you, you can make space for that in your own space as well. But yeah, if you have music questions, get in touch with me directly.
Awesome. Don't you love it when you get specific questions to your program? It's easy to talk about for sure. So thank you for reaching out your hand to those students who might need you. We'll talk to Vivian. We will ask here, is there a private or common kitchen for cooking in the dorms?
Yes, there is a common kitchen in every residence. Mainly, I think it's the ground floor for every residence. Most the kitchen will provide some supplies or utilities that you can use. You can also bring your own if you would like, just pots and pans. I think all of them will have an oven. If you prefer a home cooked meal, you are able to buy some food off campus and then cook and rest if you like. Yeah.
Awesome, thanks. I'll ask you another question too, if you know, but how can students on residence access the internet, and how does the internet work on residence?
So for the Wi-Fi, you only need your Acadia ID and basically the login that you log in Acadia Central. Then you'll be able to access the Acadia Wi-Fi. And in every building, there should be a a Wi-Fi cable on every floor to ensure this connection. Some room also have what do you call that, Wi-Fi extension to make sure the connection is good. It is free Wi-Fi, so you can use it anywhere on campus. As long as you're in the building, you're connected.
Awesome, thank you. Cam, let's go back to you. How do students learn about different communities in the residences, and how do they know which one would be the best fit for them? I'm not sure if that means which resident would be the best fit or if it means which community would be the best fit, but if you're able to speak on both briefly, that'd be great.
Absolutely. So learning finding a community that works for you in the building, that is going to be a little bit of the scary part of getting here. You're going to kind of have to go out on a limb and introduce yourself to some people, get to know some other people, and just figure out who has the same interests that you do, and let yourself, like I said in the video you guys watched, let your guard down a little bit. Remember that everybody is just as nervous as you are. Everybody else also wants to make friends and have people who get along with them and are interested in the same things that they do, So you can find really good friends that way by just branching out a little bit when you're in your building. Usually OWeek, even this year actually OWeek was able to offer that opportunity pretty well. You were restricted to your own building this year, but lots of people have still been able to form really awesome groups of friends. In Tower, a lot of them have formed a really great group that hangs out every weekend. They study together, they play games together. They're always heading down to like the gym or down to the coffee shop together. And that was still able to happen even with COVID going on. So you will be able to find your community within your building. Even if you end up in a building you think wasn't the right fit for you, you're probably going to be able to find some people that you're still excited to hang out with. As for choosing what building you should be in, sometimes the things come down to a little bit of like stereotypes, so I don't want to go too much into those. But usually buildings that are a little bit louder and have more going on all the time would be like Cutton and Dennis and Chipman. Usually always got something going on. Tower, usually at least once a week there's something going on. People are having a great time hanging out, lots of people together. But it's quieter through the week and stuff. And Barracks has a really awesome community that they're usually often doing like different things together and like activities and stuff. Usually the Barracks House Council is really involved. Not to say that other ones don't, but that's like Barracks is a really strong House Council tradition. And SEM, as Molly already talked about with some of the music stuff, the music students form a really great community, and they aren't going to exclude anybody who's not a music student. If people that are in SEM are there, they want you to hang out, they want your friend, do all kinds of stuff there. And then SEM's usually a little quieter as well at the same time, so you can still go have a lot of fun, but not worry about maybe being kept up on weekends and stuff. And I think that covers probably most of the vibe of most of the buildings that first years would primarily be living in. But if anybody else like Molly or Viv or Brent wants to step in and maybe add anything to that, I'm certain there's things that I missed.
I'll also just hop in there. Sorry, I mentioned that Tully or Whitman is our currently all-female residence building. So if that is something that you are seeking for your comfort or your connections, things like that, that's also a really great option. And they also always build a super strong community. So if that's something that you're looking for, definitely explore that option.
Awesome, thank you. And there's also scent-free floors and other things like that. And you can explore all of these options on our Residence Life page on our website. So if you do have those extra questions or you want to look at the blueprints or the layouts of anything on campus, that's where you would find them. And I'll pop it over to Brent, just because I do have a few questions in terms of the procedures that the campus has been taking in terms of COVID and how quarantine has been working, and with dining hall and meal hall and how that's been working. If you want to chat briefly about that.
Yeah, for sure. So I think just on the I guess the real things you'll see in your residence building is a lot of these processes have been changed and have been done so that it is really at the ease of the residents. So it's a lot of behind the scenes work, but in the foreground here, you're going to see everyone is required to wear masks within the community sections of the buildings. We encourage 3-ply, but again, reusable masks are also acceptable. RAs again are equipped with full PPE when handling situations and can help with that, as well as how meal hall looks. There are spaced out tables to accommodate for social distancing. We encourage that there are bubbled groups. So again, the people that you are within residence with or friends of other buildings, you are bubbled with them so that social tracking can take place. But as for the other processes of meal hall, all of the cutlery and dishes are of course, done so in a safe manner. So the cutlery, I believe, is wrapped and dishes are served by the folks there. So there is only one point of contact for many of the dishes. But again, like I was saying before, with the residence buildings, there has been sanitation stations added this year just to increase the cleanliness and the cleaning of our buildings. And the quarantine period, as an overall, I guess, comment, has worked incredibly well. Our RA staff has done an incredible job at engaging students who are in quarantine and getting people really on track to having a safe environment here. You know, they are on top of having conversations with folks about why quarantine is important. And everyone seems to follow the rules and understand that this is an important time to be following such rules. And Acadia has done great at, again, with any challenges thrown our way, and been able to accommodate not only to protect the general public, but also to really take into account the individuals who are most heavily involved and really think of their well-being first. So we have done incredible steps, and again, a huge thanks to our RA team here, because they are doing such an incredible job, not only in the quarantine period, but just throughout the year as well. So.
Awesome. I think that that's great, and I think that Residence Life has done an amazing job at making sure that everyone is safe and wearing their masks and following the protocol and keeping sanitized. With that being said, we do have to wrap it up, and I know that all your questions have not been answered. I've been trying to answer them in the chat as well. But if you would like, you can email Acadia for you. So ACADIA for the number 4 and the letter U at acadiau.ca, and we will get your answer to those questions. I want to give you enough time to stretch before the next session and get another glass of water. So we will wrap it up, but I will be answering some questions in the chat right now. So I hope you all have a great day and enjoy the rest of our open house, and have a great weekend. Thank you everyone for joining.